Hey, hey, so here we are at the Historic Owl Theater, and word on the street is there's a new Star Wars movie coming out. Not sure if you knew. So we're gonna go interview some fans and see what they think's gonna happen maybe, and how they got into Star Wars in the first place. Okay, come with me. Hey guys, we're here with Chris from Nerdageddon, and we're just gonna ask him a few questions like, first of all, how did you get into Star Wars in the first place?
Star Wars, Burger King. They had the old collectible Burger King cups for Return of the Jedi, and that was right around when I was about 5-6 years old. So like I had the full collectible set, and that was the first movie my parents let me go see in a theater that wasn't like G-rated with talking bunnies and Bambis and stuff, and I was hooked. Lasers. Luke is a full-form Jedi at this point. You also get to watch the death of Jabba, and as a young boy, Leia in a slave bikini doesn't hurt at all. So that's how I got into Star Wars. It was Jedi, yeah.
Any real predictions of what might actually
Real
happen?
predictions, I've heard one, and I really hope it's not true, that in the end, Luke will be going to the dark side, that he will be the leader of the Sith army. I've heard it from a couple customers, and I really, if that's true, that could break my heart a little bit right there. But I also, my one other prediction is I think we're going to see the death of a major character, and he may be the best friend of Han Solo. And that's an unfortunate one I don't think people are prepared for. So that's my predictions. He's that person, I'm not going to know who is, going to die, and it may be at the hands of Luke.
What?
That's what I'm thinking. As Star Wars guys, we'll find out.
Hey, let's go swing over to Dana and Mike over at Attorney Brewing. Have you tried this popcorn? This is seriously good popcorn.
I got into Star Wars back in middle school. There was the episode 1 coming out, and I was at dance class, and there was a girl that was had to like sit out because she had to be ready to go wait in line to see Star Wars at midnight. And I went home, and I remember asking my mom, like, I don't understand, like, how is that okay that she got to like sit out and she didn't have to do dance? And my mom was like, oh yeah, you've never seen Star Wars, you don't know what it's all about. So she borrowed the movies from a friend, and my brother and I put it off. We didn't watch them. These were VHS at the time, by the way. And didn't watch them, and finally we were threatened by my parents, you're gonna have to watch those or else we need to give them back to our friends. So once we put in the first one, we were hooked. And that whole summer, we watched those VHSs over and over and over again. And then I just turned into uber nerd. I don't know, that's just kind of what happened. Started collecting things like crazy. My whole room, by the time I was in college, my entire room, floor, ceiling, everything was done up in Star Wars. So yeah, that's me.
And I got into Star Wars, I was probably in early grade school. I'm thinking like first or second grade. It was actually my friend across the street, and he would, we'd play all the time or whatever, but then he started getting into Star Wars and he introduced me to it, and we would play this lightsaber game where we had, the big long telescoping sword things that were made out of plastic. We'd play a game where we would, duel each other, and then depending on who sliced off whose arm, it was either representing Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. So one of us would be Luke, and the other one would be Darth Vader, and then whoever sliced off the arm or whatever, you could tell which movie that we were playing from there. And then after I got through, high school and college and stuff, I was starting to kind of fall away from Star Wars a little bit. I didn't ever completely drop out, but I wasn't as big of a Star Wars nerd anymore. But then I met her in the middle of college, and she came about, and she was this big Star Wars nerd, and that just completely rejuvenated my spirit for Star Wars. So I have her to thank for my Star Wars love.
We don't really have to prove that we're Star Wars nerds very much. It just kind of happens. For example, all of our fermenters are named after Star Wars characters or ships. So we have R2-D2 is next to C-3PO. is next to the TIE Avenger, is next to Millennium Falcon, is next to the Death Star.
There's been this crazy theory going around with Jar Jar Binks being like an evil Sith Lord. And I looked at a lot of the videos and stuff, and some of it seems plausible. It seems really crazy. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I would totally be on board with it if that were the case, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think they confirmed the other day that he wasn't going to be in the new movie. But my theory is, I think one of the original characters is going to die. I think there's going to be a turning point at some point in the movie, and my prediction, I don't know, it's tough to say, but I think Chewbacca might be the one to go in this movie, unfortunately. And I'm a big Chewbacca fan, and it's hard to say, but judging from some of the trailers and stuff, I think that'll be a big thing that happens.
I kind of agree. It looks like it's Chewbacca that Rey's crying over in the trailer, and that makes me really sad. My nickname is Chewie. I can't handle this. I was really excited for the movies for so long, watching all the trailers, and then once it hit me that I got nervous that one of the original characters was going to die, I got nervous instead of excited for a little bit. I'm really excited now, mostly because the trailers make it feel really comfortable and like the original trilogy felt. Everybody's wondering where Luke Skywalker is. Well, I really hope that he's not a bad guy now. I think that he's just kind of going to be in like the background and not really a part of it until the end of the movie or something. And that's why he's not been on the poster and stuff like that. And I'm hoping he's going to be kind of like the Obi-Wan character, except for that means he has to die too, and that makes me nervous.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. Again, you think I'd use this by now. I guess let's go see what David thinks about Star Wars.
What I remember distinctly as The Empire Strikes Back started to come out, and at that time that was 81, I believe, and I would have been 9 when I first saw that. The secrecy around it. There was a huge secret, and this is way, way, way before the internet, so keeping secrets was fairly simple. But they leaked it out that there was a massive secret in The Empire Strikes Back, and that got people just frenzied. Playground theories, conspiracy theories, Han Solo's gonna die, Chewbacca, is really, Han's mom, just all the craziest things you could think of. Princess Leia's gonna hook up with Luke Skywalker, which we found out would have been kind of gross at one point. Everyone had a theory. We didn't know what was going to happen. Of course, spoiler alert, Vader is Luke's father. Mind blown. That was the massive, massive secret. And when we went into the theater, and I did this in Brighton, it was the Brighton Cinemas where Best Buy is now. And when I went in there, when we bought the tickets, the guy told us, hey, there's a secret. Don't let on when you leave. Leave it for everybody else. So there was some trust being put in us as viewers of Star Wars to not give it away for the next guy. And that's something we could learn on the Facebooks. I'll tell you right now. So, it really was, it encapsulated my entire childhood because I was the right age when Star Wars came out. I was 11 by the time Return of the Jedi came out, so I never outgrew it. I was in that span of time from 5 to 11 when science fiction and the good guy always has to win, and there's the Force, and there's good in all of us, and it shaped, really, how I see the world.
Oh my god, look, there's some stormtroopers approaching. How are we going to fight them?
Oh, it's me, the Sith Lord.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys ever just want to, just snuggle up to your stormtroopers sometimes on like a frosty Saturday and just get in your onesie? I do it all the time. I really suggest it. It's really therapeutic. Oh, anyway, on to Kevin. Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah, so this is this is kind of like the newer part of my collection. I actually got into Star Wars. I was 7 years old when it came out. A funny story, I remember when my mom said that we were going to the movies that weekend, I had wanted to see Smokey and the Bandit, which had come out pretty close to then. She said, no, we're going to see Star Wars. And I remember crying the entire way to the theater in South Lyon because I didn't want to see Star Wars. She said that when the ship came over, my mouth dropped and didn't close for 2.5 hours. So I've been absolutely hooked ever since. So, I mean, you know, I'm kind of like one of those guys that, you know, back when we were kids, we couldn't afford this kind of stuff. And now that I got money, it's like, I don't buy fancy cars. I don't go on trips. I kind of, much to my wife's chagrin, I buy just about anything Star Wars. One of the last remaining jewels of my collection from a kid was this is the original 1978 Darth Vader TIE Fighter with the actual, my first Darth Vader in it. It's one of the few things that my ex-stepmom didn't give away when I moved out of the house. So this is one of the few that survived. And, you know, now I collect all the lightsabers that, you know, looks really cool in the dark. And my daughter thinks I'm a total nerd for all the toys that I have. This is the new one for the new movie Kylo Ren. Basically, I just kind of hold on to this stuff so that my daughter can sell it one day when I'm gone or give it to one of her kids. But these are still some of the original ones from 1978 that I got when I was 7, 8 years old. This is the first Boba Fett that did not have the rocket firing. You know, you had to mail away for it. I think this was the last one I got it because no 8-year-old boy wants a girl doll. So this is the last thing from the Death Star. I kind of got a little bit of everything. Is that when I was a kid I started collecting all the cards. And I have every single card. These are all the original issues with all the stickers. Going all the way back. And it's Star Wars, it's Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I'm looking really forward to seeing the Force Awakens. Everything I've heard and read about it. You know, they say it is in vein with the 4, 5, and 6 episodes. I'm kind of hoping to recapture a little bit of that nostalgia and feeling that I got when I was 7 and going to see the movie and in the theater. So I have great expectations for it. I hope that J.J. Abrams doesn't let us down. I don't think he's going to. Everything that I've heard has been real good about it. So I will probably see it 5, 6, 10, 20 times.
Hopefully on this experience we've laughed, we've cried, and we've really changed on the Star Wars experience extravaganza. If you have a Star Wars story, perhaps you could comment it below. Anyway, you guys have a good day. Oh, and remember, like Yoda always says, live long and prosper.